Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's greatest military commanders and warriors. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore the fascinating life of Louis-Nicolas Davout, better known as Marshal Davout, one of Napoleon's most trusted and skilled generals. Born on May 10, 1770, in Anou, a small village in the Burgundy region of France, Davout's early life would lay the foundation for his future successes and setbacks on the battlefields of Europe. The Davout family, members of the minor nobility, resided in a modest chateau in Anou, surrounded by rolling hills and vast vineyards. Louis-Nicolas was the youngest of 5 children to Jean-François Davout and François de Francheferme. His father, a retired cavalry officer, instilled in him a strong sense of discipline and duty from an early age. The family's noble heritage and military tradition would have a profound impact on Davout's upbringing and future career. Davout's childhood was marked by a rigorous education, which included studying mathematics, literature, and philosophy at the École Militaire in Paris. He entered the school in 1785 at the age of 15, where he excelled academically and demonstrated a keen interest in military strategy and tactics. The École Militaire, founded by Louis XV, was one of the most prestigious military academies in France, and its alumni included some of the most prominent military leaders of the time. During his time at the academy, Davout would have been exposed to the works of notable military theorists such as Maurice de Saxe and Henri de la Tour-d'Auvergne, which would later influence his own approach to warfare. The early 1780s were a time of great social and economic change in France, with the Enlightenment's emphasis on reason and intellectual curiosity permeating all aspects of society. The Davout family, like many others of their class, were deeply affected by the financial struggles of the French monarchy, which would eventually contribute to the outbreak of the French Revolution. Despite these challenges, the Davouts maintained a strong sense of loyalty to the crown and the traditional values of the nobility. As Davout grew older, he became increasingly drawn to a military career, inspired by his father's stories of service in the cavalry and the heroic exploits of French military leaders such as Marshal de Saxe. In 1788, at the age of 18, Davout began his military training in earnest, enrolling in the Royal Champagne Cavalry Regiment as a cadet. This marked the beginning of his formal military education, which would include training in horsemanship, sword fighting, and tactics. The following year, 1789, would prove to be a pivotal moment in French history, as the Estates General, a representative assembly that had not met since 1614, convened to address the country's deepening financial crisis. The subsequent events of the French Revolution, including the storming of the Bastille and the Great Fear, would have a profound impact on Davout's life and career. As a young officer, he would be forced to navigate the treacherous waters of revolutionary politics, where loyalty to the crown was increasingly seen as a liability. In 1790, at the age of 20, Davout was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Royal Champagne Cavalry Regiment, marking the beginning of his military career. The early 1790s were a time of great turmoil and upheaval in France, with the Revolution's reign of terror casting a dark shadow over the nation. Despite these challenges, Davout distinguished himself as a talented and dedicated young officer, earning recognition from his superiors for his bravery and tactical acumen. We saw how his family, education, and the tumultuous events of the French Revolution shaped him into a talented and dedicated young officer. In 1793, at the age of 23, Davout was promoted to the rank of captain and assigned to the Army of the North, where he saw action against the Austrians and their allies. It was during this period that he developed his skills as a cavalry officer and demonstrated a keen understanding of tactics and strategy. In 1796, Davout joined Napoleon's Army of Italy, where he played a key role in several important battles, including the Battle of Castiglione and the Battle of Arcola. His bravery and tactical acumen earned him recognition from Napoleon himself, who promoted him to the rank of brigadier general in 1799. This marked a significant turning point in Davout's career, as he began to gain recognition as one of the most promising young generals in the French army. He was also a skilled administrator and logistician, able to manage complex supply chains and maintain discipline within his troops. These skills would serve him well as he rose through the ranks, taking on increasingly important commands and responsibilities. In 1800, Davout was appointed as the commander of the cavalry division in the Army of the Rhine, where he played a key role in the Battle of Hohenlinden. His division's bravery and tactical skill were instrumental in securing a decisive French victory, which helped to cement Napoleon's control over Europe. This battle marked a significant milestone in Davout's career, as he began to gain recognition as one of the most skilled and trusted generals in the French army. Napoleon, now Emperor of France, had assembled a massive army to confront the combined forces of Austria and Russia. Davout, now a Marshal of France, was given command of the Third Corps, which played a crucial role in the battle. His corps' bravery and tactical skill were instrumental in securing a decisive French victory, which cemented Napoleon's reputation as one of the greatest military commanders in history. The Battle of Austerlitz marked a significant turning point in Davout's career, as he became known as one of the most trusted and skilled generals in the French army. He went on to play important roles in several other battles, including the Battle of Jena and the Battle of Eylau. His reputation as a brilliant tactician and skilled commander earned him recognition throughout Europe, and he became known as one of the greatest generals of his time. His journey has taken him from the battlefields of Italy to the frozen plains of Russia, where he would face some of the greatest challenges of his career. We saw how he rose through the ranks, earning a reputation as one of the greatest commanders of his time. Davout, now a seasoned marshal, was given command at the I Corps, which played a crucial role in the invasion of Russia. Despite his reservations about the campaign, Davout remained loyal to Napoleon and led his corps with distinction, fighting bravely at the Battle of Smolensk and the Battle of Borodino. However, as the Russian winter set in, Davout's corps suffered heavily, and he was forced to retreat along with the rest of the French army. The campaign was a disaster, and Napoleon's army was decimated by the harsh weather conditions and the relentless Russian resistance. Davout's own health began to decline, and he was forced to take leave from his command. In 1814, as Napoleon's fortunes continued to decline, Davout was appointed as the commander of the 13th Corps, which was tasked with defending the city of Hamburg against the advancing Allied forces. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Davout defended the city bravely, using his tactical genius to hold off the enemy until the arrival of reinforcements. After Napoleon's abdication in 1840, Davout was exiled to Hamburg, where he would remain until his death in 1823. During this period, he devoted himself to writing and studying, producing several notable works on military history and theory. He also became increasingly involved in local politics, serving as the governor of the city and working to promote the interests of its citizens. Despite his exile, Davout remained a respected figure in France, and his legacy as one of the greatest generals of his time continued to be celebrated by his contemporaries. His contributions to military theory and practice were particularly notable, and he is still studied by military historians and strategists today. One of Davout's most significant contributions was his development of the corps system, which allowed for greater flexibility and maneuverability on the battlefield. He also emphasized the importance of logistics and supply chain management, recognizing that a well-fed and well-equipped army was essential to success in combat. His bravery and tactical genius on the battlefield earned him a reputation as one of the greatest generals of his time, while his administrative skills and commitment to his troops made him a beloved and respected leader. In conclusion, Davout's later years were marked by both triumph and tragedy, as he struggled to come to terms with the decline of Napoleon's empire and his own exile from France. Despite these challenges, he remained a figure of great dignity and integrity, devoted to his craft and committed to the welfare of those around him. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.